Good morning, my loves. Welcome to Mentoring for Awakening. We're on episode 3, and today we are going to talk about the connection between what happens when your inner compass, when your inner awakening begins to take shape, and how that's reflected to you in your external environment. Welcome to this live broadcast. Thank you for listening, for being here. I really appreciate you. I'm just going to set this up a little bit better. My name is Dijana, by the way. I'm the producer of these series and the mentor. I'm an energetic healer. I'm a professional counselor, transpersonal, spiritual, holistic counselor. So the work that I do is probably a lot more holistic and more practical. And if you want to find out a little bit more about this, then feel free to go to my website. I might actually put in the comments, where am I? My website, oopsie daisy, link, so that you can click on that whenever you're ready. All right, let's begin. So today here in, I'm in Sydney, by the way. It's, oh goodness me, what day is it? Oh yes, Wednesday morning, just after 9 o'clock. It's the 29th of July. And I have to admit to you that the energy is rough. Just I'm not experiencing the energy to be smooth in any shape or form right now. It's really an energetically speaking a really bumpy ride right now. So I just want to say that if you're feeling a lot of friction, you're feeling this internal not quite right, even though outside of yourself things may appear to be just dandy, it's okay. Understand you're not on your own, and just give yourself some TLC. It's okay. It's just how it is right now. And I have a feeling that it's not going to let off. It's going to be a bit of a rough patch moving into not just the full moon that's coming up, but also the Lion's Gate, which are both really big energies. And I guess if I could just really quickly describe it to you, it feels a little bit like these portals have begun to shift open already. But it's like, when you've got a door, you're trying to open a door and it's kind of jammed and it's kind of creaky, and you're sort of doing like nudging it and kind of trying to shake it up and trying to get it open with force and stuff like that. It's kind of what this energy is like right now. So it's okay. You're not on your own. Just take it easy. And I'm sending you lots of love. Excuse me. I'm just going to reach for my coffee. Oh, throat chakra clear. All right. So back to synchronicities. Here's an extraordinary thing that happens with synchronicities. Now, you will find that once you begin to do that Google searching and you notice kind of things are a little bit strange and they begin to shift, and within you, you are noticing some things that are coming into your awareness that you don't usually notice. This is often referred to as divine synchronicity. And it can appear in all sorts of different ways, but most commonly people talk about an alignment of numbers. So you might see there's a very common one that people often talk about, and it is the 1111, as in you look at the time seemingly for no particular reason, and it'll be 1111, or it'll be 444, or it'll be 222, or you'll wake up in the morning like really early, out of your dream suddenly, and it's like 3:33 in the morning. Or so there's like this synchronicity with numbers. Or it could be things like you're thinking about someone and say their name is Michael, and you'll be driving or traveling or walking down the road, and all of a sudden you'll begin to see signs that have the name Michael in it, like Michael Street or Michael Lane or Michael's, I don't know, coffee shop or something like that, right? Or for example, car plates, a really good one. Also to do with like numbers. There's songs on the radio, like you might be thinking about something, and one of the ways that an answer can come to you is you will ask a question within yourself, looking to communicate through and with that inner compass, that inner wisdom, that inner intelligence that you have within you. And all of a sudden a song will come on, and it'll have the perfect words that describe the answer or bring you the message that you were looking for. It's happened to me many times, for example, where I'll have a conversation within myself with this inner intelligence, and then I'll walk past somebody, say in the shopping center, on the street, or in the shops, and they'll have the answer for me. I'll happen to overhear what they're saying, and what they're talking about will have the answer for me that I'm looking for. So why, how, where, what, right? So what needs to happen for this to begin to manifest in your life? Well, first of all, the first thing that has to happen is that you begin that journey of waking up to that inner intelligence within yourself. Because what that will do, it gives you, it's like boot camping your spine. It begins to strengthen and like your muscles, like physical exercise, begins to strengthen that relationship you have within yourself. And as you strengthen that relationship you have within yourself, the particles, literally the molecules, the particles within your body, right, become stronger, and they begin to spin or vibrate at a higher frequency. So this is energetically, you begin to raise the frequency within you. And as you begin to raise the frequency within you, you become more sensitive to the messages that you're getting within yourself, from that wisdom within yourself, from that inner intelligence that you already have within yourself. And as you become more sensitive to that innate intelligence, some call it divine intelligence within you, you begin to pick up and communicate in a different way with the world around you. So it's not that all of a sudden it appears in front of you. It's just that innate awareness, that innate sensitivity begins to pick up consciously with your eyes, with those physical senses, the world, those little messages around you in your outer life, so that in this way, your inner awareness and your inner existence begins to match up with your outer world or your outer environment. So, and so these synchronicities, these little messages outside of yourself begin to align with what you are experiencing within yourself. Those synchronicities, therefore, are an extraordinary and classic way of knowing 100% that you are on your awakening journey. Yeah. So you, again, may not like to call it or define it as spiritual. It's irrelevant. It's a direct energetic match. This is actually quantum physics. This is science matching up with spirituality. This is left brain, right brain representation. This is that inner feminine, masculine, the yin and the yang, the different aspects of you that are all operating simultaneously, bringing to you the reality that you're experiencing within yourself. It's really quite magical. It's really quite fantastic that we have the capacity to do this, that we have the capacity to consciously begin to experience our world in this way. So I hope that helps you understand why and how this happens. Now, let's move on to some of the things that you can do in order to practice this, to embody this, to notice it and understand it better. So again, I have some notes around this. Now, I want to share this with you just really quickly, because it looks like that this will be a reality that I will be manifesting. As I was writing around this, some insights around this and sort of channeling in conjunction or collaborating with my inner wisdom and intelligence, I am being guided to manifest this work in the form of a book. So it looks like that I will be writing these, or putting these chapters actually into book format. So they will be available, I don't know, probably via Amazon at some point in the near future. Okay, so the 5 things that you can do to help you understand, practice, and embody this beautiful alignment between the inner and the outer, this phenomenon that it consciously represents that connection that we have between the inner and the outer. So the first point I have is to create a format in which you journal all the synchronicities that you notice. Now, the format can be to write it down, like I, for example, write everything or type everything out, because I find that through the process of doing, as in typing or writing, I'm actually channeling and processing divine or higher intelligence or inner intelligence as I go. So I tend to do that. But the reason why I'm saying that you find out is because we all receive information, obviously, in a multisensory way, and then we have a strength in which we process information best. Some people are auditory, so they need to hear information, and their inner guidance or intelligence will probably come through, or most likely come through, in terms of a heard instruction from within. Other people are kinesthetic, so they will have to write or type like I do, or they could be visual, where they need to see the information coming through, perhaps in the form of pictures, like a movie, which is also another way that I receive a lot of information. Or it could be a combination of anything. It's irrelevant how you process or get this information out. What's important is that you note it, you journal it, you voice record it on your phone. So you get your phone, and there's usually a voice recording app on there. If not, you can download them for free, and just speak into it. It's really important to journal it. And my recommendation is to journal it as soon as it comes in. As soon as you notice numbers, as soon as you notice a song, a sign, or some form of a synchronicity, inner outer synchronicity, note it immediately. The reason why I say immediately, and it can only take you just a handful of seconds to do this, is because you want to get to it or get it out. Acknowledge it, embody it, ground it instantly. Number one, to learn to trust it. Whatever's coming in, don't question it, just go for it. Journal it, note it, acknowledge it. And the second reason is, if you do it straight away, you get in there, as in you acknowledge your innate intelligence, your inner wisdom, before your ego, rational, analytical mind gets a chance to bombard you with second guessing yourself, with questioning yourself, with messages that say you must be crazy, you're imagining things, blah, 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 blah. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is not to say that you are crazy or anything like that. It is because it's normal for that ego. So remember, the ego is programmed and conditioned by society. And what we are doing here is we're practicing or boot camping, exercising, strengthening your own individual inner wisdom. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're wanting that inner to become strong. The ego mind is is conditioned by outside forces most commonly. And it has a purpose, of course. I'm not saying it's bad, but it is the ego mind that will come in and judge, persecute, put doubt, undermine anything that is outside of its sphere of understanding. Yeah. So tip number one, the first thing that you can do is journal any synchronicity you notice. Note it, record it, write it out, talk it out, whatever you need to do as soon as you notice it, to get in there and acknowledge it and strengthen your ability to notice and embody the information before your ego mind gets in there with that self-sabotaging type stuff. Yeah? Excuse me. Of course, once you begin this journal or these voice recordings or whatever, then you also have, over time, a way to go back and begin to notice a pattern and begin to learn what exactly is it that these synchronicities are trying to tell you. How are they enriching your life? How they are benefiting you. And so again, you begin to strengthen not only that connection within, but the trust, the surrender, the faith, the knowing, that really deep, beautiful knowing. Yeah, so that's really important. All right, moving on. Number two thing that you can do. Hold the intention of an open mind and an open heart. In other words, don't judge what comes. Move away, even if it's just for a couple of seconds at a time, from the need to judge yourself in your observation. Give yourself permission to have, and this can be a conscious, or probably the easiest way to do this is to give the right side of your brain, so that would be this way when you're watching this, the right side of your brain, that creative portal, permission to open and to channel through that portal of imagination and creativity and visualization, daring to imagine another way to be. Give it permission to open, and for you, in order for you to consciously receive whatever is coming through that portal, so that you are not only, your days, your hours, your world is not only ruled by the left, logical, analytical, rational side of the brain. Of course, this is much more egoic, yeah? It is very necessary because it is the part of our brain that helps us, work shit out and work out what's reasonable, what can be done, how it can be done, and all of that sort of stuff. But in terms of creativity, intuition, guidance will come much more likely to come through that right side of the brain. And then, of course, the next thing is to allow your heart to be completely open. So that portal where we feel the energy, we feel the vibe, we have a feel about what's going on. And so allow yourself these two aspects to align without judgment, and then just observe. Just observe what comes in. What is the potential that you are tapping into? What are the things that you are observing around you? Even, what are the feels that you are getting, the vibes, And you can, I'm just getting this really interesting image. So it's like, you might go, so say for example, you're going to go shopping, and you're going to be in the shopping center. The first thing you do is you protect your energy, but then you can practice this. So say for example, you're going to buy shoes, and you're standing in front of two stores. You can just stand there for a few seconds and just allow your feelers to intuit the energy of the different stores. And you might find that you'll be able to tell very clearly that an energy of one store, people that work there, the stock that's in there, is a little bit lighter, a little bit more welcoming than another. So you may choose to spend your money in that store that has a better energy, for example. Another thing that I say in point 2 is when you give yourself permission for whatever needs to be intuited for your mind and your heart to align, to stay open, so that you can receive these beautiful synchronicities and messages, these alignments. It's a little bit like a brainstorming session at, say, work, where you sit down at a table with a group of your colleagues and you have an objective, and you're looking for new ideas, new ways for this objective to manifest. And you would then do a brainstorming session, and it's no judgments, it's free for all. Anything that comes in is welcome, and then you shift through using your left side of your brain to see what's actually viable. All right, moving on. 3. Where am I? 3. That's number 3. Google research is your friend. Now, as you begin to notice a pattern emerging, you might notice, for example, that you're seeing consistently the numbers 1111 daily, maybe a couple of times a day, maybe through signs, or posts on social media where you've never really had anybody post about 1111 before, and all of a sudden there's all these different signs and synchronicities around 1111. So you can use Google, you can use YouTube, you can use social media to familiarize yourself with a kind of general consensus about what 1111 means. Now, here's the thing. There is a lot of information out there already about the meaning of 1111. What's really important, and I want you to hear me here, is that what you are getting from Google, from your mate called Google and social media, is you're getting a general blanket consensus about these codes, this time, these numbers. And then it's up to you to discern, to make sense of, to use your intuition and that inner wisdom to understand how 1111 is applicable to you and exactly what it's trying to tell you. Okay? So don't forget that anything on social media, anything on Google is blanket. You will know about how it feels within you, both in mind and in heart, which parts are relevant to you specifically. So don't ever just take information that's on social media and on Google and the internet as gospel. Always check in with yourself about what is applicable to you. Okay. 4. You may find yourself a little bit anxious and overwhelmed by all of this, by all the synchronicities outside of yourself, where you might actually at some point feel like you are actually going a little bit cuckoo maybe, or you've kind of fallen into some sort of a vortex and you don't really, because the world suddenly looks really different when you realize that aspects outside of you are suddenly talking to you. They're suddenly reflecting to you things that you are thinking. How is that possible? So your mind might struggle. The rational side of your brain, the left side of your brain, and of course your ego aspect might really struggle and feel be really resistant to the idea that anything outside of yourself is a direct reflection of what's going on within you. It's really not uncommon to feel this way, especially at the beginning stages of this. So please be kind to yourself and know that it's okay. It's okay. Eventually, as you are strengthening your relationship within, as you are noting and journaling your synchronicities, as you begin to understand the messages that you are getting from these beautiful, wondrous synchronicities, you will ease your mind. You will ease the anxiety that you might feel as a result of the world looking very different to what you're used to. It's okay, it's quite normal. And number 5, then, a direct extension of point number 4 is understand that not everybody goes through this process of noticing or waking up to these synchronicities at the same time. So, and I say this is really important to remember, because you might also, or you will at one stage come to a point where this will become fascinating to you and you will want to share it with everybody you know. You might want to share it on your social media. You might want to just get really excited and share with all your friends and family and blah, 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 which is wonderful, because the byproduct of that excitement is that you're planting seeds. However, understand that maybe not everybody is there right there with you. People may not understand. People might shoot you down. People might tell you you're actually crazy. Now, I say this because I've had that actual, of course, experience where I was shot down so badly, literally, Anyway, I don't, because it's different for everybody. But just be aware that when you begin to share this fascinating journey, not everybody's going to understand, care, or even want to know that this is the case. Very quickly, you're going to find out who's had this experience and who hasn't, because you might say something to, I don't know, a close friend of yours or a family member, and they'll go, oh, thank God, I thought I was the only one. So you might find kindred souls, and you might find and will find out very quickly who hasn't taken that journey as yet, who's not there with you, who doesn't know, doesn't understand, doesn't believe you, looks at you funny, etc. And then there will be those that will go, yeah, I get it. I know exactly what you're talking about. So there's that. So those are the 5 things that you can do to strengthen this shift in consciousness. Yeah. So this awareness that you're going through this particular aspect of the journey. So because no, take it back. This can, of course, or is actually happening more and more, because collectively, the consciousness of the collective, as in people on the planet, are actually going through this amazing awakening to those things that haven't been in their consciousness before. So, I mean, you don't really have to be a brain surgeon to work out how this is happening. So I'm not going to go there, but I'm just going to leave it up to you. You have this knowing within you. If you are finding that some of this, or these awarenesses, of course, are a little bit much, or you are needing some support to process the information and find out, to help you understand how this can work better for you, how you can utilize these synchronicities to your best and highest good, you may choose to work with a spiritual mentor like myself. Someone like me can help work with you, walk with you, to first of all understand what kind of synchronicities are coming into your world, to understand how to discern what's for you, what's not, to understand how to stay grounded and very clear about the messages that you are getting, to learn how to apply those messages specifically to your own journey. They are all different ways in which you might, mentoring could help you. But other than mentoring, it might just be a very simple case of help you clarify some messages, some soul messages that you are getting. So it could be something as simple as a soul reading, like a psychic intuitive reading, or even some energy work, some healing work, as you begin to shift your perspective, as you begin to let go of the old conditionings and you begin to embody the new way of seeing the world. They're all the different ways in which mentoring can help you. Okay. So I hope that this is of help to you. I love you heaps. Feel free to, of course, share this, comment. I would love it if you could like and subscribe to my channel. And if you click on the bell icon here on YouTube, then you will get notifications when I go live next time. And I try and do these lives around, weekly, either on a Tuesday or a Wednesday morning here, Sydney time, which is Monday or Tuesday evening in Europe and in the States. Okay, I'm done for today. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Okay, take care. Bye. Okay.